Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo, go, go, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still.
Light this thing up, bro. You already know what time it is. Live and lit. Let's get it, my G. You know, I'm one of your hosts, BG31 in the building with my boy, Mr. Warm It Up, though. Yeah! Warm this thing up, gang. You know what time it is. You know you want, you know who you rockin' with. It's your boy, Billy Notion, and live and lit coming at
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Another edition of Eagles Live and Lit. It is game day, guys. It is game day. I am your host, BG31, with the one and only Rev, DEEGIFTED in the building. How you doing today, my guy?
Man, I'm doing so good, man. Another Sunday, another victory. You know what I'm saying? That's how I'm feeling. I'm starting to get into a routine with these victories now. You know what I'm saying? We got the Washington Redskins. I mean the Commanders. You know, I'm so used to still like for some odd reason they always gonna be the Redskins in my head, but the Commanders, you know what I mean? We got them, and you know that's Carson Wentz. You know, we've been having this game marked on the calendar all season. So man, I'm feeling good. What about you, man?
Hey, same thing, man. It's Carson Wentz playing the Eagles again. We didn't get a chance to see this last year when he got traded to the Colts. You know what I'm saying? We didn't play the Colts last year, but it is this year. He's on a division rival team. It is a division game. So that's the most important thing for the Eagles today is realize we cannot let it be a trap game. This has got to be the same players, same energy that we had last week when we played the Minnesota Vikings. You know what I'm saying? So I do not like even thinking about Carson Wentz doing anything good against us, you know, in today's game. So it's going to be crazy. Let's get to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you feel about this? You think this could be a revenge game for Carson Wentz? You know, a lot of the ex-Eagles went to Washington, you know, and had big games. D-Jax did it against us. You know, Trotter did it against us. You know, we had, Donovan McNabb did it against us. There have been some good you know, and did some things against us. Do you think this is one of those games, or do you just think the teams are too far different to worry about it?
Man, this definitely could be a trap game. This could be a trap game if it was any other team, but this team right here is led by Jalen Hurts. This team right here has the standard is a whole nother standard. The standard is Super Bowl. The standard is perfection. The standard is to be some dogs. And you know the crazy thing about, you know, this Jalen Hurts led team and the standard, it's been the standard a lot of times with a lot of past Eagles teams, but it hasn't been voiced and so out there that we have a standard. Like, this is the most I ever heard a quarterback talk about the standard, and us as Eagles fans know what that standard is. I don't expect no Commanders to knock us off our pedestal from being 3-0. I don't believe that. I believe that the Eagles team take on the characteristics of Jalen Hurts, and that's not being afraid of big moments. We saw how they showed up on Monday night. They showed up and they showed out, man. They not afraid of big moments, and this could be a big moment, a big story for a lot of reporters. I don't think Carson Wentz gonna come in here and I mean we're gonna go to Washington and Carson Wentz is gonna show us up. I just got done watching them, and I believe we're gonna have a lot of sacks this game. And as long as we get into the quarterback, the pressure already been picking up. As long as we get into Carson Wentz, I think we're gonna have a fine day. But this game definitely has trap vibes all over it. But I'm not afraid of that. Just on the strength, like I said, it's a Jalen Hurts led team, and he gonna always remind them, where they supposed to be at mentally. And so, that's why I'm.
Eagles are 2-0. What Commanders are 1-1. Carson Wentz number 2 in passing yards on the season. You know what I'm saying? We all know Carson throw that rock. You know what I'm saying? He can definitely sling that rock.
Yeah.
And he's done it. Time and time again. It's just the consistency. Can we put the pressure on Carson? To me, he kind of reminds me of like a Kirk Cousins of last week, where he is good, but once you hit him a good couple of times, you know what I'm saying? You start shaking him up. Then that's when Carson becomes Carson and start making mistakes. So, like you said, he can put those numbers up. He got 3 good targets, in Dobson, to Scary Terry, and Manuel. How do you think they fare? Even though we shut down one of the best passing cores last week with Minnesota, how do you think they fare against Dobson and these boys? Do you think that Slay, Bradbury, and Mattis can come out again and do the exact same thing to these boys?
I believe they can be. But we just got done handling a offense that was pretty hyped up. They got one of the best wide receivers, Justin Jefferson. I believe, especially at the week 1, Muzz was rating him number 1, number 2 wide receiver, and he had a lot of great weapons and a great supporting cast like Dalvin Cook and Adam Thielen. And those guys are seasoned. Those guys actually have experience. Those guys actually have experience going the route of the playoffs and everything. This is a young team in Washington. That they have explosive weapons, but look who's throwing them the ball. It's Carson Wentz. So I'm not afraid of these weapons. I don't think they're gonna be used as effectively against us. They might have been used effectively against other people, but like I said, this pressure is gonna get there. But even with that pressure, with Carson Wentz, one thing that we all have to remember, and we all know, even the players that played with him, before on the Eagles team, they know Carson Wentz is a fighter. So it doesn't matter if he does throw an interception. Best believe he finna come out slinging it again. So this is the type of game where we got to keep putting our foot on his neck, because it don't matter how this man is playing. He gonna keep slinging it and he gonna keep rocking that mud. So the supporting cast that he got is very good. So that means all game we have to be locking down, because they not gonna stop.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, it is division. People got to really put that into perspective. They just lost to the Lions. We beat the Lions. You know what I'm saying? We beat them, but they just lost to the Lions as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Lions is a better team and whatnot, but they are on, that mission to actually show that they are still a relevant team. You know what? They win this game, we tie for first in the NFC.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's a big deal early in the season.
Yeah.
I know it's 2 games in, 3 games in, but, the Eagles can really take another step forward in this quest to be great this year. And I think that, the sky's the limit for this team. How do you see Jalen Hurts do 2 games? How have you liked his play?
Man, Jalen Hurts has been freaking beautiful, man. Like, we had pregame show, postgame show, last season, and what do I keep saying? He's a playmaker. He's a winner. You know what I mean? Like, we got so many segments of that being just the fact he's a winner. He's a dog. He's going to do whatever it takes to win. And then you come into this season, in the first 2 games, He has been the reason we have won. He has been the most valuable player on the team. And speaking of most valuable player, after 2 weeks, he's already in conversation of MVP talks. So that should tell you the level of play that has risen from Jalen Hurts. And if anybody watched that game Monday, if anybody watched that game, I know me personally, I had a moment where I sat there, literally, I sat there and I said, is this Jalen Hurts? Like, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Like this whole week, I still been thinking about how beautiful that game is. I think
Right?
everybody been thinking about just how beautiful that game was. And Jalen Hurts was a huge part of that. And he accounted for, I believe, like 330 for 50 yards of about 440 some yards that we had last game. So, with that being said, I'm just like, bro, I believe he is the quarterback. They say he has to check off the box. Every time Jalen Hurts, we've been watching him grow as fans right in front of our eyes. Every time one question comes, what he do? What he do? He check it off.
Yeah.
What he do? Every time we have a question, a new question arises. So the question was, can he sit in the pocket and tear up some zone defense? Well, he showed that. Can he handle the blitz? He showed that. So now he's checking off these boxes. Now you know what the question is. Everybody see, okay, he can do this, can run, he can make plays, he can do this. Now the question is, can he be consistent? Can he stack up these types of performances? And so when you start asking questions like that, it's like, okay, we seen the ability. Now, can you contain it and be consistent with it? And if you can be consistent with it, with that type of play, being 84%, I'm not saying it's gonna be 84% every game, but completing a high percentage of his pass, I believe he is top 5 in completion percentage after 2 weeks. So that's already a big change from last season. So I'm expecting him to continue to grow and continue to develop. If this play continues and stays at a even kill level, he might have a chance at being MVP. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised about it.
I've been saying it. I think the skill levels there. I think this is a quarterback that elite haven't even seen before. You know what I'm saying? Like people keep trying to compare him to this guy or that guy. He's not either one of those guys. He doesn't got the arm of a Brady, a Peyton Manning type quarterback. He don't got the legs of Lamar Jackson, but he's that even kill. You know what I'm saying? He can run, slide, do whatever it is he needs to do. He's very smart at running. He knows when to slide down.
Yeah.
He knows when to get out of bounds. He doesn't take very many big hits. And now you're starting to see this year, he was sitting in the pocket. He was letting that ball rip.
He was.
The form is different. Everything about his throwing motion is different. He's harder. He's starting to throw with a lot more anticipation. Things like that. He's learning and progression, and that's all we can really ask for with a quarterback like that is progression. And I think if he continues to do this, that everything will be great.
And just to bounce off what you just said about him throwing the ball and completing all these passes. The great thing about Jalen Hurts and him standing in the pocket and throwing the ball, you confident in Jalen Hurts because last season we didn't have to worry about Jalen Hurts and him throwing interceptions. That has never been a worry of me watching him throw the ball. I never worried about him throwing interceptions or putting the ball in harm's way because for the most part, Jalen Hurts has always been secure with the ball. Now you have him on a whole nother level and being able to read the defenses even better and actually completing a higher percentage of his, it just makes you even more confident that when you do see him throw the ball deep, you already thinking, damn, who this going to? I know
Right?
somebody finna catch this mug because Jalen Hurts does not put the ball in harm's way. And he's doing an even better job with the team only having one turnover after 2 games. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So that's
And
you
that
know,
turnover that he had last week kind of fluky. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, yeah,
Jay
yeah,
Wentz caught that and bounced off his hands into the, you know what I'm saying? So that's not even really
yeah,
like, I don't even put that on him. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it could have been, I don't know. He kind of had to throw it over the lineman to get that little screenplay. So, yeah,
yeah,
good
man.
call.
They look that play right there got everybody even talking even more so about, hey, they need to add a different stat category for quarterbacks because no
Mhm.
way that should be counted against Jalen Hurts. And the ball obviously was a good pass and it tipped right off the guy's hands. Like they need to have a category with tip passes. That's been a conversation a lot this week.
You know, because we don't really have that hard of a schedule, you know, not to really say that every game anybody can win any given Sunday. But how many games you think it's going to really take before people start really giving Jalen Hurts the respect? Now, you're starting to see it. Like you said, you're starting to hear some people say, oh, yeah, he's a franchise guy now. You know, you're starting to see some people, oh, yeah, he's in that category MVP. If he can continue to play, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, they wanted to see him sit in the pocket. He sat in the pocket, you know, last
Yeah,
week. You know what I'm saying? But now it's like that's not good enough. I gotta see it consistently. I need to see it game
yeah,
after game after game. Even though I feel like there's not really that many consistent quarterbacks that do it game in, game out, you know, at a high
hmm,
level. Like in the league, the league's very hard. You know, the defense preparing
yeah,
for quarterback. Defense are gearing up to, you know, stop your best abilities. You know what I'm saying? So how many games do you think it will take, you know, for these Eagles to really hit that next level and for Jalen Hurts can finally get the respect from all Eagles fans? You know, because there's a lot of
man.
Eagles fans that are still on the
Look,
fence about Jaden. I don't know why. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what they're doing or what they're not seeing.
because
But
listen, the only reason they have it being, kind of indecisive is because it's week 2. It's only week 2. And that's a fact. It's only you got me?
yeah, you back.
Okay, okay. And somebody was calling me. But yeah, it's only week 2. And so I honestly think Jalen Hurts has begun a lot of hype. I think a lot of that Monday night when you perform like that so beautifully, you get some respect on your name.
Yeah,
When you shut down the Justin Jefferson, you get more respect on your name. When you perform like that on the stage where you're supposed to perform, you get respect. So I do think he has been getting even more respect. And like you said, it's just the consistency. And you brought up a great point about people saying, oh, he's not Josh Allen or he's not there. Woo woo. Jalen Hurts, just like Josh Allen and them people trying to compare them to him. He came into the league just a few years ago. Patrick Mahomes just came in the league a few years ago. Basically, it's a new generation of players coming in that's now being what you comparing to. You got Lamar Jackson. You got all these type of quarterbacks that that's now when people coming out of the draft, people gonna be like, oh, is that a Josh Allen? Is that a this? Is that a that? Well, now I think we have a one of one. People gonna
yeah,
be like, is he a Jalen Hurts? Is he a Josh Allen? Is
yes,
he a Lamar Jackson? We
yes,
have a one of one. People are gonna start saying, oh, he he's a Jalen Hurts because how he is so accurate with the ball, how he his style of running as well, because he's a different type of runner. He doesn't run like a Lamar Jackson. He doesn't run like Josh Allen. I believe Josh Allen gets beat up a lot worse than Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts picks his spots. It seems like he never runs full speed. He only runs, the speed that he has to run. And he gets down, he slides. He played baseball before. This guy gets down. This guy is a one of one. Jalen Hurts. So I believe by week 4, week 5, people are going to start buying in. What's going to have people buying in is when we beat Dallas. That's
yeah.
week 6. And honestly, when we do face Dallas in week 6, I want them to have Dak Prescott. I want them to have their quarterback. I don't want no excuses, dog. I want to see that. But yeah, I think it's by week 6. If we I ain't gonna say if, when we beat Dallas, that's when they gonna start taking us serious. But also by that time it'd be 6, 7 games. A lot more. Is on his plate, and people can look back at the and by that time too, people gonna start talking about contracts even more because they already talking about contract with Miles Sanders and Jalen Hurts. So I believe by week 6, week 7, you're gonna start hearing people buying into him even more because they gonna realize this
Do
been
you
basically the whole season.
Do you agree that it would be smarter for the Eagles to go ahead and lock him up early without seeing the full season? Or, just going off faith, like, hey, he's balling now, it's been 4 or 5 games. Even if we were 7-1, or like 5-1 or 6-1, something like that, you know what I'm saying? Would you just go ahead if you're Howie Roseman and realize that, hey, I got 2 draft picks next year in the first round, I got money coming next year that we can continue to build this team, whether we go to the Super Bowl this year or not, and go ahead and give them that money? Or do you wait and see the full season worth of work out there, and then give them like a fat contract? Because I think if you wait, it's going to cost you a lot more money than getting it done, mid-season.
Yeah, definitely. It definitely is gonna cost a lot more money, but at the same time, man, pay this man whatever he deserves. And I believe that they already know what they leaning towards. They already, it's obvious what they leaning towards. They believe in Jalen Hurts, man. They making this guy a freaking, he's he's the king of the city.
Right?
Jalen Hurts is the freaking man. This man is like everything right now. Like, he says all the right things. He just a perfect freaking leader for Philadelphia Eagles. And I honestly, think that they just gonna wait. Just because I believe that by Jalen Hurts securing, I believe if he secure the number 1 seed in the NFC. They better pay him as soon as he do it. As soon as he do it, I believe a contract. Even if they already know, me as an owner, me putting on my owner's hat, I will wait, even though I might know. Oh yeah, we signing him, but let me wait until he secures in the playoffs. Let me wait until this and that, because then boom, I don't know if it'd be too late by then, but hey, as long as my guy putting us in position, that's all we need. And then if he playing at this level, like I said, he's already in conversation for MVP. He's already in conversations for MVP. So hey, the sky is the freaking limit. And one thing that I love, and I ain't gonna lie, I was worried about, it's the fact that he passed the ball. He got the ball to a lot of different players. It wasn't
Spread it
just
out.
no AJ Brown. It
Mm-hmm.
just it wasn't. It was the Devontae Smith got in there. First catch of the game. Devontae Smith got in there. AJ Brown. Everybody got a piece of it. Everybody. You saw Boston Scott, Kenneth Gainwell. e- Everybody got some. And that's what I wanted to see. And that's a big shout out to Shane Steichen too, who called a masterful game. We gonna need him to be on his P's and Q's for this game, because like I said earlier, Carson Wentz is not gonna lay down. He's
Nope.
gonna sling. It don't matter if he throw a pick early. He gonna come out and try to sling it again. Because I think they had him in the press conference. He was basically saying, "Hey, this defense is not exotic." You know what I mean? But basically putting that out there, like, hey, they not doing nothing I can't handle. Basically, that's how he's saying it. So, hey, we gonna see. We gonna have to put that pressure on them all game.
And the other MVP, for our team is your Big Play Slay. How surprised are you that Big Play Slay is having such an amazing season? 'Cause, it's only 2 games, but
Yeah.
started off where he left off last year. I think last year was his best year as a pro, and it was with us. And this year, he's already starting out, 3 picks already? The guy's rolling the
Hmm.
ball. How do you feel about that, man?
Man, when I think of Darius Slay, all I can think is, man, this dude literally backs up everything he say. Like, you can't argue with nothing that he say. You know what I'm saying? If as far as how good he is, what he say he gonna do is like dude played a masterful game. Me honestly, I haven't seen a corner lock down the number one wide receiver that played on the Philadelphia Eagles. I haven't seen them play like that ever, to be honest. So
Last week's game, yeah, that was kind of special. Like you think about it, he could have had 4 or 5 picks.
he he
He
could
had
have
two,
at
but he
least
really
three.
could have had 4 or 5 picks.
At least three. He had them. So, I believe Darius Slayman showing up and showing out, bro. This dude was the NFC player of the week. You know what I'm saying? Well deserved because, like I said, on the brightest stage,
Asante was good too, yeah. But
yeah,
still,
Asante. I love Asante
not,
Samuel, bro. I love
the last
Asante.
week,
I,
we talking
I
about,
thought they should have got his son because his son is a dog.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, I ain't gonna say
But
Asante
Justin
Samuel is the
Jefferson's like
last
really
best
like
corner that.
one of the best, definitely top 3 receivers in the league. He's up there. He put up
Yeah.
some big numbers. His first week was like one of the best receiving weeks by a receiver ever. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
he
saying?
had
Like,
184
yeah,
yards.
yeah. So it's like for him to lock him down like that. Like I even said it that he wasn't getting over 80 yards in my pregame show last week. I go, he's not getting
Damn.
over 80 yards. You know what I'm saying? I think the Eagles gonna lock him down. The defense gonna get to Kirk Cousins, and that's what happened, man. He didn't even get 80 yards in the game, man. Well, he had 40 yards or something like that. Like
Yeah,
that's
yeah, I think he had
ridiculous.
like
That's shut
43.
down for real, for real. It's one thing to keep a guy out of the end zone. Yeah, he had 79 yards, no touchdown. You're like, okay, they did a good job against him. They contained him. He made his plays. Like AJ wasn't making nothing. And
Yeah,
against Slay, man, it was 2 picks on him. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he caught a ball on him. Like that's beast. That's beast.
yeah, man. The defense had been playing lights out. Like they came out against the Vikings and literally forced like three straight 3-and-outs. Against a explosive team. Shoot.
That's,
But yeah, man. So I believe it, and then the fact that he is the captain on the team too, So hey, they following his lead, So I'm expecting them to really come out and be some dogs. They might not be so exotic as Carson Wentz says they is, but I believe they're gonna come out and they're gonna ball out. So, with a Darius Slay led team, that should only make Eagles fans even more confident that the defense is gonna be playing at a high level because they all see it. They all know big play Slay. You know what I'm saying? They see the damn, he really out there balling.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When you got your top guy out there performing, everybody gonna follow suit because you can't lead unless you actually out there, leading by example as well. You know what I'm saying? So he's definitely leading by example. Everybody gonna follow suit. That's why it's so good that he came out as a captain this season.
And I think he's probably going to even have better stats this year. You know why? Because this might be the best, group of secondary people that he's ever played with, too. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Bradbury's no slouch. That's a former Pro Bowler right there. He showed in week 1, he took that interception to the house. He can cover, too. You know what I'm saying? There wasn't very
Yeah.
many passing yards going around on anybody last week. So he showed that he can cover, too. We all know Maddox should have been in the Pro Bowl last year with his cornerback play from that nickel position. Chauncey
Yeah,
Gardner
man.
Johnson, he's over here. He's a safety, but he also played cornerback, so that gets you a little bit of extra coverage there. Everybody around him is making them better to the point where since you got a Bradbury on this other side, then you got to pick your poison. It's like, yeah, you probably rather go to Bradbury, but Bradbury's good enough to hold us round too, so you're gonna have to,
Yeah.
go
He
to
step for step.
step for step, whoever guys you want. How'd you like seeing, Gannon play a lot more man last week too? You think we need to come back with that same approach with man defense? A lot of blitzing. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause we seen him blitz a lot last week, and we seen him play a lot of man defense.
Man, I think we need to play it exactly how we played it last week. Playing Carson Wentz. I do believe we should uh um blitz a bit more, especially against Carson Wentz. I want to see. I want this pressure to be on him nonstop. I don't. I want him to be looking crazy, trying to throw it with his left hand again. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of stuff I want to
That's his
see.
best pass, baby. That's his best pass.
You get him throwing with his left hand, game over. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, if we can do that, I'm gonna be totally excited. But I believe this is a top five defense. This is definitely a top five defense, and I believe the pressure needs to get there though. Like
Yeah.
that's still a huge thing for me. Like I know we got to Kirk Cousins a bit more, but we just got to get a little bit more. It was like everybody else was having a good game. Well, everybody was kind of getting there. You had Fletcher Cox. I believe he had a very good game.
Yeah. Zach Bonner.
Javon Hargrave, he was eating. We saw Josh Sweat getting back
I like
there.
it.
We saw him getting back there. I think about 2 times, but we haven't seen what's his name, Hassan Reddick.
Yeah.
Haven't seen him. We seen him get close. I seen him in the game a few times, getting real close. One time he was he bent the corner, bent the edge, and shoot, he slipped, but he was crawling to the quarterback. He was trying to get there, man. He was trying to get there. He as long as he keep fighting, he gonna get there. I believe this is the game where we gonna have where he gonna have a breakout game. I've been watching his interviews too. He kind of he said in an interview that he passed all the hype, man. He trying to focus on the game because he a Philly guy. He got a lot of emotions coming into this game, and it just seemed like he know what the conversation is. I'm pretty sure people telling him, yo, they starting to see you ain't been, getting to the quarterback. They talking about the money you was giving, that 15 million.
Yeah.
They talking about the money. They talking about the money he was giving. They talking about, hey, we need to be seeing the production. We ain't seeing you get to the quarterback. So I'm pretty sure he know, which is why he trying to calm down from all the hype and really just focus on the game. But as we saw from game 1 to game 2, he's gotten closer. Now it's game 3. He should be hitting home.
And I think it's like kind of like what BG used to say. You know what I'm saying? He's like, we're playing. It's coming. We got the talent. We got the ski, and we're doing it. We're playing. They're getting close and not getting it. It's like as the season progresses, you're going to start seeing more and more sacks, add up. These guys are getting more comfortable with each other. They understand each other a little bit better. They understand how to play with each other a little bit better. And the coaches are understanding how to get them in the best position to execute these. And like I said, sacks do come, but we're getting their turnovers, which is more important to me than it is sacks. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
We might not be getting that sack, but we're putting enough pressure on them that, make the quarterback throw an errant pass where we are getting picked.
I do like that.
Has it ever been like, when the last time you can remember the Eagles team like leading, being up there in terms of like the defense up there in terms of takeaways, you know what I'm saying? Like the actual fumbles, the interceptions and whatnot like that. We are pretty up there this year, and I think it's going to continue. So I don't think it's as big of a necessary that the sacks are getting there, because we are still getting a couple sacks here and there. But I think they're going to start coming in bunches the more these boys play, and then like you even said, the 3 and outs are huge, you know what I'm saying? That really matters more than anything too. But sack or not, those defenses, that offense is off the field. Your defense did its job, whether they got a turnover or they got, been made them force them.
Love the 3 and outs. Love them.
So what would be 3, concerns you have going into this game? What are your biggest 3 concerns playing the Commanders this week?
Man, 3 concerns. The defense. The defense is one of my concerns, and I'm gonna say the defense because we haven't seen consistency from the defense. Not last season and not this season. This was just one game. That was literally game 2. Game 1 was terrible.
35.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And now game 2 was good. So if anything, we got to be concerned about the defense. We know the offense. The offense been putting up points. We talked about the offense being able to put up points all last season. We know they can put up points. It was untraditional looking like, last year. It wasn't like your typical, passing it or whatever. But we seen the offense put up points. They've been consistent with that. And coming into this season, they left off where they. Now I ain't gonna say they left off where they started because the Buccaneers game. But as far as putting up points, these guys have been consistent with that. Now the defense has not. Jonathan Gannon, I know he felt that pressure. Everybody, we supposed to be going to the motherfucking Super Bowl. This is supposed to be a championship team. Period. And so I know he felt that pressure. I know he felt that, the heat. And so I'm just more so afraid about the defense looking like, the last team. But I believe the fact that we going against Carson Wentz, it kind of keeps our energy up kind of high, so we don't get caught up in the trap game. I feel like the fact that Carson Wentz will be on the other side, it kind of forces us to be our feet and realize, oh, we're going against a whole nother opponent. We're going against Carson Wentz, and we can't let him beat us. They know that. Eagles players, they know they Carson Wentz cannot be the quarterback to knock us off. And so, yeah, if it's one thing, it's the defense I'm concerned about for sure.
Yeah. Like you said, trap game is a huge thing with me. Like you said, they lost to the Lions last week. This is a division game. We could be 15-1 right now going into
Yeah.
this against 0-15 Commanders team. But since it is a division game, since there is that beef, that rivalry, you know what I'm saying? It is a possibility that any given Sunday, anything can happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I
But
am
we got to
worried
start off
about
1-0. We got to start off 1-0 in our division, man. If it was, every game that we played so far is the most meaningful game. The next game is always the most meaningful game. But for real, it just got even more meaningful because we have our division on the line. We need if we want to say that the most important game, it's got to be this game. It's a division game. You know what I mean? The other games, yeah, they matter, but hey, we got to keep
you
our
go
foot.
undefeated in your division, you good.
Yeah,
You know what
this
I'm saying?
game matters more than last game.
Yeah.
If we would have lost last game, this game would have still meant
Yeah.
tremendously. You know what I mean? Because this is a divisional game. So I believe, having Carson Wentz on the other side, gonna force a lot of people to realize. And we got great leaders on this team. We got Super Bowl aspirations. We talked about it early in the season. We got Super Bowl champion still on this team.
Yeah.
Don't take that for granted. Just like people took for granted Jalen Hurts' willingness to win, Jalen Hurts' leadership. You can't take the intangibles for granted because the intangibles is what allows a player to actually reach their ceiling. A lot of players and a lot of people can't reach their ceiling because they don't have the intangibles to even make it there. But the fact that Jalen Hurts has the intangibles on top of being paired up with Super Bowl champions like Brandon Graham, who definitely trying to get to a Super Bowl before the season over, Lane Johnson, Jason Kelsey, Isaac Samalu, you know what I mean, Fletcher Cox. These guys are not going to, they know what it takes to go to the Super Bowl. They not finna let no trap game be the reason we, lose a game. Especially, like you said, this is a divisional game. One second.
Yeah, man. I really want to sweep the division. I want to sweep it. I want a clean sweep like the Cowboys did last year. I want a clean sweep this year, and I think we got the roster to do it. You know what I'm saying? To me, that I don't even think about the division for real. Like, I think that our team's way too talented on paper, scheme or not scheme. When you put talent on the field, you put talent on the field. You know what I'm saying? Like, your coach can have a bad game, have a bad call, and your players make up for that on that football field. So, scheme aside, I think this team is ready. I think the sky's the limit for them, and I think that we need to go out there and dominate. First game,
Yeah.
first division game, go destroy these guys and blow them out of the water. Make sure they understand that they are not the same level caliber team that the Eagles.
Man, it's a divisional game. This is a divisional game. This is a chance. This is an opportunity for us to really, start creating some type of separation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We still got the Giants. You know what I'm saying? We'll worry about them later. Let's worry about what's in front of us right now. And right now, we got a chance to, separate ourselves. We number one right now. You know what I'm saying? So we control, our destiny. You know what I'm saying? And I like the fact, Jalen Hurts brought that up in his victory speech. You know what I'm saying? We control, the fact that we can get better. So let's control that. So, I'm really feeling this game. I don't feel like they gonna be trapped at all. Like I believe the leadership is so great on this team that it's even been brought up. The players even recognizing, man, a lot of teams start off 2-0 and then crumble. You know what I'm saying? That's been brought up by them themselves. They already know this. You know what I mean? They already know this. My guy say, I want a clean sweep. Man, me too. I think
across
we
the
can do
board.
it.
If the Cowboys did it last year, I think we can.
Right.
I think our team is better than that team.
Right.
The division
We can.
itself is good, but we're better than all the teams. You know,
That's a
like,
great take.
the team that we have, it's just like a lot of no team to me in the NFL has what we have. We have depth at all positions. We're great on offense. We're great on defense. We got a running game, one of the best in the NFL. Now we got a passing game to put with it. Jalen Hurts showing you that he can throw that rock. He can sling it all over the field. You know, you got cornerbacks, one of the best trios in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? You got safeties that look good. We got one of the best defensive line, offensive line. Like,
don't sleep on Epps, bro.
We are top 5 in everything. So how can it not be greatness this year? You know, it's a real question. Like, I think if we lose in the games, it's gonna be us losing it as opposed to
right.
You know,
Because we still got to clean up some mistakes. We still got to clean, as Jalen Hurts said, and we still left money on the table. We ain't scored no points in the second half.
Yep.
We ain't scored no points, and that was self-inflicted, and that's what we don't want to have. We need to start seeing the team making progress and creating less self-inflicted wounds. You know what I mean? Because we could have easily put up 40+ points last game, easily. Sure. But our offensive line, you know, we got to get that under control. Nick Sirianni said that the coaching points of, I guess, the RPO or whatever gotta change. So I'm like, okay, we're gonna see. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna see. But I believe those type of penalties when you get a guy already downfield, you know, it's kind of hard. You know what I'm saying? Unless a guy
have you realized we've been getting called on that since last year? Remember last year? Look how many touchdowns we got called back. Like, there has to be something going on in practice where they fix this. You know what I'm saying? The linemen got to be there. You know, they need to get together and have a little meeting here. Like, are we doing these plays? Because if we're doing these plays, we need to edit without penalties. You know, because it keeps happening. Now, remember, last year, it got called like 4 or 5 times.
A lot of, and I'm glad you brought up, you know, that, because it reminded me how a lot of good freaking plays keep getting brought back. That's another reason why I gotta stop, because Jalen Hurts, like we said earlier, he's smart with the football, and when a play breaks down and he's making something happen, it's getting called back because of our offensive line or something is happening. Some of Jalen Hurts' best plays, always, even last season, gets called back. You know what I mean? He got outside the pocket, flipped his hips, threw the ball across, to Quez Watkins coming across the field, gets called back. Then, you know, or it be Jalen Hurts making a great pass. Guys can't bring it in. I remember last season he put the ball on the money to Quez Watkins, and he dropped it. It was a deep ball. Then last game he put the ball on the money to Dallas Goedert, on the money in double coverage. Put a nice little touch on it, and then bring it in. We can't have them type of plays up in the game, because honestly, that's what kills teams in the playoffs. It's little things like that.
One touchdown you just gave back. You know, that one possession, especially when you get to the playoffs and the games get tighter. You know, whenever you're playing even other elite teams, man, it's usually a possession or two. The difference in that game. You know what I'm saying? That one possession or two possessions, just like Nick was talking about last week, how, you know, right before the half, we went down there, we made sure we put some points on that board because we knew we were getting the ball back.
That was listen, I'm glad you brought that up too, because that drive before halftime, that's when I said that was a franchise quarterback drive. I believe he had like a minute and like 20 seconds, and he wasn't rushing at all. He was going slow and still got down the field, making the right passes. Still got downfield and did what the fuck we were supposed to do. And that's get them 3 points before the halftime. He executed that drive so perfectly. That was another example of a franchise quarterback drive right there. That was a, you know what I'm saying? That's a franchise quarterback drive. It's that simple. Doing did what you're supposed to do.
You have to do it. Doing what you gotta do when you gotta do it, man. I agree. What about give me 3 hot takes? Let's get 3 hot takes here. Give me an offensive player of the game and a defensive player of the game for the Eagles.
Jalen Hurts looks even better than in the Vikings game. I believe Devontae Smith gonna have over 100 yards for the first time this season, and Miles Sanders gonna have 100 yards in a touchdown. That's just
Nice.
how good I'm feeling. Miles Sanders, because bro, like Miles Sanders, he's been running hard. He's been looking beautiful.
Yes.
He's been looking beautiful. He's been looking like Booby Miles in Friday Night Lights. Man, he's been looking that good. And then, Devontae Smith, he just not warming up.
Yep.
He just not warming up. You know what I mean? Like, people keep on forgetting about my guy. All I hear is AJ Brown, AJ Brown. I love AJ Brown. AJ Brown is definitely a difference maker. But don't keep sleeping on my man Devontae Smith.
Facts.
Heisman Trophy winner. Let that sink in. When the person starts saying my guy Devontae Smith, they better start putting that Heisman Trophy winner behind his name, because it's not a lot of wide receivers that win a Heisman Trophy. The last wide receiver Heisman Trophy was 1993.
Yes.
So put some respect on my guy. And when people look at Devontae Smith, they recognize his footwork. He's a masterful route runner, and that's what I love most. So, I believe he's going to have a breakout game. Jalen Hurts going to look sensational again, and Miles Sanders going to have a beautiful game, man.
Give me an offense player of the game and a defensive player of the game.
I'm going to say Jalen Hurts, offensive player of the game. Just because, people kind of try to minimize, Jalen Hurts and his performance that he had. Some people, but then you have some people that say, we seen him perform like this at times last season. Can he keep it up? Can he do this? My response to that would be, we ain't seen him do that.
No.
We ain't seen him do that. No time last season. And what I'm talking about more specifically is the fact that Jalen Hurts played a whole game like that. We've never seen Jalen Hurts play a whole game looking beautiful like that. We've seen halftime. We've seen first half look kind of choppy and the second half look good. Or the first half looking good and the second half looking choppy. We've never seen the complete whole game from Jalen Hurts where he's looking phenomenal, where we honestly say the thing that held him back is his offensive line, getting penalties. We've never been able to see that or been able to say that. We've seen a whole game with Jalen Hurts performing at an elite level that has him in MVP conversation. Yeah. He's only going to make that conversation even more after he beats Washington.
Nice. And defensive player of the game.
Defensive player of the game, man. I'm really pulling for this guy, man. Hassan Reddick. It's time for him to show up. This is breakout game. Sweat got back there twice last game. It's time for him to show up. He ain't paid this man. This is breakout game. He been close again, closer and closer and closer. He ain't shown me any signs of digression. So until he do, I'm forced to believe that he's going to continue to make progress. And so with that being said, he's going to continue to make progress, and I'm expecting him in this game against the Commanders to be wreaking havoc. He got to get back there.
Nice. Well, I'm going to say 3 hot takes for me. Jalen Hurts throws for 400 yards this game. Finally see it done. 400 from Jalen Hurts. You see it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, like you said before, too, there's been plenty of games where he's pretty much done it, whether plays were called back or whatnot, plays are dropped. I think this is the first week we put it all together. And it's not even so many passes, just they're going to be nice, deep bombs, Nice big plays by the receivers. The playmakers going to be out there on full tilt this week, and they're going to show up and show out. And Jalen Hurts going to put up a 400-yard game. You know what I'm saying? He might only have 30 to 40 yards rushing, but he's going to get that 400 yards passing game. Number 2, I say the big player is going to be Dallas Goedert this week. I think Dallas Goedert's week where he goes over 100 yards. He has 2 touchdowns this game. You know what I'm saying?
Dang.
Everybody talks about AJ. Everybody talks about Slim Reaper, Quez. It is Dallas Goedert time to shine. I think this is his game where he puts his stamp on, hey, I am a number 1 tight end in this league. Yes, I am dominating. And yes, I'm going to show you how bad I can dominate a football game. I think this game will be it. It's a division rival game, hard, smash mouth game. I think your tight end comes in the clutch. Number 3 is our defense gets 5 sacks today. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. 5
I believe
sacks.
it.
Carson's going to get knocked around his own stadium like a pinball. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be like, beep, 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 beep. Back and forth. The Eagles will get to Carson often and on time, on point. It's going to be one of them games. Will be one of them, like, just destroying Carson Wentz games. You know, I don't want him to even think that he had any chance against his former team. There's no revenge. There's no nothing. You left soft and you're going to end soft. You know what I'm saying? Soft will be behind at the end of this game. My player of the week, player of the game, obviously, like you said, Jalen Hurts. He's going to keep being the leader of this team. He's going to keep pushing us, taking us to the promised land. He's going to keep doing this thing at a high level. On defense, I'm going to do a shocker. It's going to be a guy that no one even thought because he doesn't even play that much. But I think Jordan Davis might be the player of the game today.
Really?
I think Jordan Davis
Really?
his first NFL sack this week. You know what I'm saying? You know, he's been watching a lot of tape of people talking bad about him. You know what I'm saying? How he's been getting ran over by offensive linemen. How he hasn't put up the big numbers. How he hasn't really put up any numbers for real. I think this is his breakout game. This is the game you see our number 1 overall draft pick show up and show out and make some sacks. So I think
would love to see it.
Will be Jordan Davis today, you know, making his presence felt and getting himself at least a sack.
If Jordan Davis get a sack today, hey, I'm jumping through the roof.
So let's go ahead. You know, it's almost game time. We're about to win this game, guys. Put that energy up there. We're about to destroy the Washington Commanders today. It's about to be litty like a kitty. Give me your score position. Give me your score position for this game.
Man, we've been putting up 30-plus points. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we scored 24 last game, but we easily could have put up 30-plus points. So I'm going to go 35-14 Eagles.
35-14 Eagles. I like it. All right, my score prediction. They've been switching all week. Let's stick with a good one right here. So, you know, I think they put up 14. You know what I'm saying? I think Carson does get a touchdown in there. So
garbage time.
Yeah, garbage time or whatever time. It's going to be Carson win touchdown sometime throughout this game, I feel like. But I think the Eagles dominate, man. Like you said, 42-14. Just total destroy them. You know, with Molly walking out of FedEx Stadium. And, you know, we're on our way back home. You know what I'm saying? So the Eagles will win. It'll be in a dominating fashion. And I don't think it even the team itself is way better. You know what I'm saying? You might say they got a good offense, but we got a good offense and a good defense. You know what I'm saying? Their defense is kind of suspect. I don't care about all these first-round draft picks everybody want to talk about. They ain't been putting up no stats. They ain't been doing nothing special, you know, since they've been drafted. So I think the Eagles offense handles their business and, you know, just puts the run up the score on these guys. And I think our defense is good enough to, you know, hold them to 14 points. So, yeah, man, it's going to be a great game, guys. You know, you guys write your score predictions inside the chat. Let us know what you think, who's going to win, how much. And, you know, let's watch our birds win, baby. Let's watch our boards go destroy.
Let's turn up.
Any last final words for you, buddy?
Man, let's eat. I want to see that defensive line eat. Like you said, 5 sacks. I would love it. We get 5 sacks, we winning this game, period.
Facts.
Yep.
And all I got to say is, guys, fly, Eagles, fly. We about to be 3-0.
Let's get it.